Welcome to the Cherry Picker, the horror movie podcast where we like to kill people, but not really. I'm your host, Zach Cherry, and joining me, as always, is.
Tim McKay from Tim McKay Beauty.
And today we are talking about Scary Movie, released
Yes.
July 7th, the year 2000. And I mean, technically, like, is this a horror movie? It's a satire, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
Yeah,
a parody of a satire
that's
of
very
horror
true.
movies. So
Hmm.
yeah. So I mean if Scream is considered a horror movie, then this is considered a scary movie.
Yeah,
Um
it's very meta. I
it
mean, interestingly enough, Scary Movie was the original title for Scream
it
before it
was
became
indeed.
Scream.
It was. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad it was changed because I know it would have been meta to be a scary movie, but I think Scream is the perfect name for
Hmm.
Scream. And scary
Yeah.
movie is what it is. Making
Yeah.
fun of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there at this time there are now five Scary Movies with a sixth one set to release in what is it, like 2 months from now?
Oh, I have no idea. I can't
Yeah.
wait though. I'm trying to avoid the trailers because I don't want it to, you know.
Okay, so we're not allowed to talk about it at all in this
I know
episode
I've
because
already
of.
I mean, well, I go to the movies every other day, so I've
Yeah.
seen a trailer or two, but I'm trying to avoid like the newer ones as much as I can.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
fair. It does look fun.
it does like they just
And
I feel like they show so many jokes in the trailer that I'm like, like leave some for the movie. Like I don't want to see too many.
yeah, well, I mean, I believe that the goal for the new movie is to just bring back that kind of like irreverent humor. They want to offend people again. They want
Yeah,
people to be offended. And that's something that has been missing from comedy for, I mean, since the early 2010s, it seems. Like
yeah.
everything is so safe, like.
Well, everything does offend people now, and like people will say it's because it's the year 2026 that like you can't say that anymore. And it's funny. I mean, like for example, they're them making the whole joke of Tatum's death scene being taken over by just a large girl, just by a fat girl. Like,
Mhm.
and it's literally the whole joke is just that she's too fat to be lifted up by the garage door. That
Yeah.
is so funny, but like nowadays, I feel like people would be too afraid, or people would be afraid to laugh at that because they're
Yeah.
afraid that they'd be seen as like, this type of way.
I think it's definitely a case of, like people feeling guilty and,
Yeah.
not wanting to, uh, you know, s- walk out of line of just sort of like what is expected, what is kosher. And it's sort of like it's that saying that I absolutely hate. I just feel like it's such a narcissistic saying is
What?
that, you have to be on the right side of history in terms
Oh
of whatever
God,
it is because it's
Pedro
like, yeah,
Pascal.
because of like what that saying says to me, like what the subtext of that is like, you're more concerned about the optics of how you're
Yeah.
looking because you're not looking at whatever the actual issue is. You're concerned about where you stand on it and how people are going to
Yeah.
view you. And I think that that's the biggest problem here. Just like you can be a good person and you can have morals and do the right thing without worrying about how you look in the process. It's like giving to charity and not having to make a big announcement like, hey,
Yeah.
I gave to charity or something. Like you just give to charity and you know that you like in your own mind you've done something to make a difference. So
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
And I think that it'd be one thing if the whole movie made fun of one type of person, but because it doesn't, they make fun of literally everyone. They even like it's
Mhm.
the creators of the movie are black and they make fun of black culture as well. They make fun of white culture. They
Yeah.
make fun of fat people. They make fun of everything. And I just think that
Gays.
I hope that, yeah, gay they make fun of they make fun of gays,
Yeah.
but it also doesn't feel mean. Like I don't feel offended by any of the gay
Yeah.
jokes in this movie at all. Like I just feel like because they make fun of everyone, like it feels like good. I want to be included in that too, in a
Hmm.
type of way. But I think it comes from maybe one's own issue with some of the topics maybe at hand.
Yeah.
If I was more sensitive about my sexuality, I don't know.
I mean, possibly. I just think it's one of those things that like snowball. It's just like
Yeah,
sort of, became a thing and everyone had to hop on and here we are now and I feel like that's the way Anne's mission with
yeah,
Scary Movie 6 is like we want to just bring back this kind of irreverent humor. We want the world to heal. I think like now more than ever, we need to be able to laugh at ourselves because everything has just become so serious.
Yeah. And
Amethyst is
dire
saying,
and
yeah, Amethyst is saying in the chat here, we were discussing the pre-show parts of this movie have aged horribly. And for me, the two offenders are Doofy and Mrs. Mann. She is the most egregious example to me because she's such a small role. I mean, maybe if it's just because it's sort of like in there as a joke, but I don't know. What are your
because
thoughts on that?
I don't know if she's yeah, I don't think Miss Man is I don't know if she's parodying a character from anything, right? I don't think that
Yeah,
Miss. I think that maybe because what the I was watching an interview with the brothers and they said that what they did first was they picked from like scary movies to make fun of, and then they picked from pop culture to make fun of. So like they'll have
yeah.
like obviously horror movies, Scream, Scream 2, I Knew It Last Summer, but then they also had jokes from like the Budweiser commercial with like that "What's up" thing. Apparently that was from
Hmm.
I don't even remember the Budweiser commercial, but apparently that's
I
what that's from.
do, and
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that because that was such a like a cultural moment of
Yeah, I had no
of
idea
pop
what that was
culture.
from.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I guess maybe I was only like because I was only 8 when it came out, I didn't know. But
yeah.
they make fun of the Matrix. They make fun of like a few things that aren't scary
Hmm.
related.
I got like because with that, I mean, the only thing I could think of if it was like a horror movie thing is that I was sort of getting um Miss Collins from Carrie, because they're in the locker
The
rooms
gym
and
teacher?
there's like,
Oh,
yeah.
oh my God, that's so funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm here for you.
what are all the movies that are like obviously like Scream the first Scream is mostly what the template of this is with like a dash of I Know What You Did Last Summer, but we've also got The Sixth Sense.
Scream 2,
There
Blair
is there
Witch.
is Scream 2, there's Blair Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also wrote down, yeah. Oh, just a little bit of Baywatch when she's running, when Carmen Electra is like running in slow motion, I feel like. And I only say that because in an interview she said that she was having so much fun filming this, and she said when she does Baywatch, she has to do the same thing, but just really serious, like
Yeah.
running in slow motion and sexy. So like doing, so I was like, maybe it's a little bit of a Baywatch joke,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I know we never gave a premise for this. I think everyone pretty much knows the premise for this movie. It is a satire of Scream. It is, yeah, a parody of Scream, which we've already said. But I
Yeah.
forgot we didn't give a full premise. But
Well,
it's pretty much if
we
you have
haven't really
this.
got to that point yet, but if you want to go ahead and give a premise,
Well, I didn't actually. I didn't. I think that was the reason why I was like jumping at this is because I realized I don't have a premise. But I feel
oh,
like everyone know it's like it's if you know the movie Scream, it is literally like a parody of the movie Scream slash I Know You Did Last Summer. And so we have like characters
yeah.
that get to play little bits of both, like characters from each movie, and they kind of combine it into one character.
Hmm.
Um,
And they're all
yeah.
names like after like it's either like the actor or like another character in something. So,
Yes.
uh, Anna
Drew
Faris's
Decker.
character, Drew Decker, Anna Faris's character is Cindy Campbell, which I guess
Hmm.
is like Nev Campbell, and I guess the Cindy is supposed to be like Sydney.
Sydney.
Sydney,
Yeah,
Sydney.
exactly.
I just think of Portia de Rossi in Scream 2. Hi, Sydney.
Sydney. Hi,
Sydney.
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 And then yeah,
Yeah,
we have yeah, Carmen Electra was Drew Decker, which is like Drew Barrymore and Casey Becker.
Decker.
But I don't
Yeah,
know what Decker means, but I think that's like a sexual term. Drew Decker
maybe, or they're
or
just
like
making
or Deck.
like a
Yeah.
changing the last name.
Gale
Uh,
Hailstorm.
Gale Hailstorm. Yeah. Um,
Love
yeah.
it.
As Gale Weathers, obviously Doofy, Gilmore,
Buffy?
Buffy and Doofy Gilmore.
That is
So I
so
guess
funny.
like
Well, Buffy is because she's supposed to be Helen a little bit. Like in
yeah.
some of the movies, she's supposed to be Helen.
Helen from I Know
So
What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, because she's got
yeah.
the beauty pageant
Hmm.
aspect of it. And she's also kind of like Tatum
Yep. So she's a little
in
bit
a
of Helen,
way.
a little bit of Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brenda, Regina Hall's character is like Brenda Meeks. So I
Oh,
think
I
like
didn't even
and
think about that. I forgot. I was thinking obviously Maureen from Scream 2, but I forgot about wait, Brenda playing. Wait, sorry. What did you
well,
just say?
sure. Like I think that's. her last name? Is it not like, is it Meeks or am I?
Yeah, sorry. I think I just thought you were saying something else and you weren't saying
Yeah,
that.
it could also be Brenda, like from Urban Legend.
Yes, that brand. I think
Yeah,
yes. There's so many like these names because you know there's Ray from I Knew You Did Last Summer, then there's Ray from Scary Movie, and they're not the
yeah,
same character, so that was a little confusing. But
yeah. But yeah,
but
Brenda and Shorty or Meeks. I guess
but
they're twins. Are they okay? Hold on. Are the Brenda and Shorty the Meeks twins before the Meeks twins existed in Scream
well,
5?
absolutely
Yeah,
yes. They are. That's actually hilarious. But I think because Brenda is obviously supposed to be Maureen from Scream 2, but
yeah.
also a little bit of like maybe Brandy from I Still Know You Did Last Summer.
Right. Yeah.
That was my guess, like that
Carla.
whole like, oh my God, like that moment. That's what that like light bulb in my head went off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that. And then I think Shorty is supposed to just be
Randy.
Randy. Randy,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God,
Hmm.
yeah. That is so fun. And a little bit of Max from I Know You Did Last Summer because he is the one that
Right.
pulls by them in the car accident when he's smoking with all his friends.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a little bit of everybody uh that you could find and like apply to the characters here. But yeah, it's a big cast too. You also Lachlan Monroe, Amethyst is saying is Greg Philippe. I never know how to say Ryan Philippi.
hmm
Wait, who's the Greg though? Like,
Greg
where's
is
the?
Greg is Buffy's boyfriend.
No, no, I'm saying where does
Oh.
Greg come from as the name? Like what?
Well, oh, I don't know. Look out, Greg. Behind you. I just think of
Yeah,
it's like it's supposed to be Barry. I would think he was supposed to be Barry, but I don't know
Barry.
why they named it Greg.
Yeah,
But he's pretty much I think that's like the only one he's supposed to be making fun of is Barry in the movie.
yeah, it seems that way because he's
Look
got
out,
the.
Greg, look behind you. I love that part so much.
Yeah.
Um,
Brian James. Bringing up Max is just proving how relevant I Know What You Did Last Summer is to life and cinema.
it is. It
Yeah.
is just my ultimate favorite movie, and I'll bring
Yeah.
it up as much as I can.
They do reference I Still Know What You Did Last Summer in the like towards the end where Ray and Bobby are kind of like talking about the motive and like tying it to the movies and they're just like, oh, except for that like sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. And they're just like, what was with that white Jamaican guy?
Oh
I guess they were talking about
yeah.
like Jack Black.
Yes. And they're like
Yeah.
pissed off about it. Like, oh, that white
Yeah.
Jamaican guy. Yeah, the fat white
Hmm.
Jamaican guy.
Yeah. Gosh, I love
Mm.
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. But yeah, I mean just to cap off like the offensiveness and everything and just like where we are in society. Because it's like Friends, like the show Friends is
hmm
now, I guess like a huge Gen Z enemy of just like because there's so
Enemy?
many enemy, yeah,
Oh yeah.
there's so many like I guess misogynistic and homophobic and transphobic jokes
Mm.
uh all across the board there, and it's like, I think at a certain point like you have to look at something and say like, well, when did this come out? um and that's obviously one perspective to have because times were very different, but I still agree with you. I think that especially for comedy, and I've seen a lot of comedians talk to this, it's just like everything has to be on the table. Like
hmm
you can't like cherry pick
Well,
what what you can and can't make fun of. I think it's just like it's fair game, and it's good to have a sense of humor. Like all the things that like I would be kind of like a target of
mhm.
myself, like I never get offended by certain
Yeah.
things, and I think it's just like it always comes down to like the way I see it, what is the intent? Is the intent to like for good humor, to like there's always going to be something that is the butt of the joke, there's always going to be something or someone that is is being made fun of, but if it's being done in a way that's like deliberately like trying to cause harm or rally people against a certain group per se, that obviously steps out of the line of things, but like comedy doesn't do that. Comedy
Yeah.
is, meant to make people laugh and entertain them. So
I
I
think
think that,
I think in culture, in like film, I think we've as a society has worked so hard over the past 20 25 years to pull away from stereotypes and like and not show like gays and stereotypes or like and try to just I don't know, almost make the best version of everyone. And like so then that kind of like Scary Movie is making fun of all these stereotypes. It's showing all these stereotypes on screen, which like is
Mhm.
so unpopular to do nowadays. Like nowadays I feel like everyone needs to be seen in the best light. Like uh and so that's taking away from some of the humor. Like of like
Yeah.
it's like just because you see a gay person being made fun of in this movie doesn't mean that that gay person represents all gay people and that like we all need to feel shame because the joke was made about him in the movie. Like I just think you don't have to internalize it so much.
Yeah.
Um and I don't know if it is people that like I don't know if it is people that are like the jokes are aimed at them if they're the ones offended or if it's other people offended for them.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
I
But
mean, that's a huge part of it, just like people being offended on other people's behalfs.
yeah.
And it's just like, that's not your experience. You can't really
Yeah.
speak to it. Kyle Martin McKinney is saying in the chat, I think there's a difference between condemning something and pointing out how the point of certain jokes can perpetuate not only harmful stereotypes, but boring ones, i.e., Miss Man. Should Scary Movie be condemned for that outright? No, but the scene stoked transphobia in young millennials for decades. Yeah. I mean, that's very fair if it's not going to like, like have a like any sort of context or commentary about things outside of that and it just sort of like exists in there, then that's a thing. But it's again like I'd like to hear like what would a trans person, have to say about that today because,
Yeah.
you never know. I can't be offended on someone's behalf. But let's get to the housekeeping portion of the episode,
Let's do
which
it.
is yeah, if you've been listening to or watching the Cherry Picker, or if you're brand new to it and you want to support this little show, you can give back by heading over to patreon.com/. Zach Cherry, which is me, ZACKCHERRY. And if you are supporting us at the Freddy Krueger tier, you'll be able to join us every Monday as we live stream record these episodes. You will also be able to nominate and vote upon the movie you want us to cover at the end of each month. So since we're at the beginning of April here, I will put that uh, forum up tomorrow, I guess, or today, if for the general public as this releases. So head over there, and if there's something that you've been itching for us to talk about, you can nominate it.
Mhm.
And if everyone likes that and wants us to cover it, they'll vote on it, and then bada boom, bada bang, we'll talk about it. There's
Mhm.
also lots of other fun perks. I do monthly reviews. You have personal video calls with me if you're supporting at the Ghost Face tier, and just like general shout outs and credits at the end of all of our podcasts here. With that said, I do want to say thank you to some Patreon members. So thank you very much to the Michael Myers tier, Kyle Beard, Sam Levy, Ali Hamouche, Shane Ellingham, Tim McKay, Horror Slut 95, Austin Hall, Final Girl Gemma, Cara Day, Michael Boswell, Defcon, ML Hughes, and then thank you very much to the Ghostface tier, Eric Champney, Daniel Saturn, Stephanie Starbright, Baby Ghoul, Garrison
Mhm.
Nichols, Craig Lynn, and Josh Burrow. So thank you very
Woo.
much to all y'all. And this is where we would normally say what the premise is, but we know what the premise
True.
is. So, where can this be viewed actually? Because I was looking on streaming to watch it today, and I guess all that came up was like just your general rental of it
I
on.
I watched it on Paramount Plus today.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I just like my TV, I'll just like hit the button and be like, scary movie. And then it'll
Mm.
like show up, but there won't like if it's available on things, it'll show me. Sometimes it doesn't always work. But I have the DVD. I have the DVD that has the first four movies in it. So I just watched it like that. There's no special features. It's just like it's
No?
no. I mean I'm sure that there's like probably been better physical media releases since then. But I'd imagine, I mean I would hope that with six coming out that they would, have a box set on the horizon or something like that.
Yeah. I remember I definitely owned the first three on DVD. I had so many DVDs back in the day, and then I think somewhere along like one of my 500 moves in New York,
Mm,
I had to get rid of them at some point. It was heartbreaking, but I remember just getting rid of all my DVDs, and now I kind of wish like I kind of want to rebuild my collection.
yeah.
Especially the more we know, like, everything that we own now is pretty much just rented on Amazon and Apple TV. So
Yeah.
I have so many movies I've already bought on there that I'm like, no, I want to rebuy everything on DVD again.
Yeah. DVD or Blu-ray or 4K.
Oh, 4K,
Yeah.
4K, whatever the
You
whatever
gotta
the best top drawer.
You got to be best and bougie about it. That Edward did that too. Your predecessor, for anyone just joining us, because he would like sell his movies and then like rebuy them back, and I always just like, why? Why would you do that? Like, I have all my stuff, and I just like I hold it. If I replace it, if I get like an upgraded version, I'll be like,
Hmm.
I actually have a whole stack of things in front of me that are. Actually, just like Argento movies that I've since graded. I don't know why they're just still sitting on my desk here. But yeah, 500 moves. Like obviously
Oh, I
that's
have
a
moved. It's an exaggeration, but
yeah.
barely. I have moved almost like every year that I've lived in New York, except for like I've lived in this apartment for about a year and a half. It's like the longest I've lived anywhere.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and because it's the first place that as my own, like my apartment. So
Oh.
I'm excited. So I'm like, I don't have to like, there's no roommate issues. There's no, I don't know. There's just always a
Hmm.
reason to have to move around, and especially when you rely on other people. Once you can just like have your own spot,
Yeah.
and stay
No,
somewhere.
I've been doing it solo since I want to say 2014. Actually, no, that's not
Mm,
true. I was doing it solo from like the get-go, like from like 17. But then I at one point I started to have roommates and that lasted maybe like a couple of years and then I'm just like, okay, back to just me.
hmm.
Um, but yeah, I usually like 4 years max. Like I would at this point in my life, like I would just like to own my
Yeah.
own place and like that is definitely like the goal that I would be working towards. But yeah, it's weird because it just feels like 4 years, and like exactly at 4 years, then it's like something happens.
Hmm.
Like my last place, the owner of that condo had to move back in, so that's why I ended up leaving. But it's run the gamut for reasons why I've like, okay, I'm getting out of here. Um,
But then I have friends that have been like, I've been in this apartment for 20 years, and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know how," because I've just,
yeah.
especially in New York or a city where like it's an apartment and you're like, there's just always some reason that you got to move. I don't know.
I mean, I
But
like consistency. Like if I could find a place and just stay there forever, I'd be happy. I want to find like where's the place that I'm gonna die in. As
haunting.
grim as that
Yeah,
sounds, yeah.
yeah, very grim.
I need to find
Um,
I need the best environment. Like all of the variables have to be just right because it's just like, yeah, if I'm gonna die here, this is gonna be it.
this is gonna be it.
Yeah.
Um, do you remember where you were or how old you were when you saw this movie for the first time?
Well, this came out in 2000. This came out in July of
Mm-hmm.
2000, so I would have been 14 because I saw it in the
Wow.
theater. Fairly certain of that. What was 14? What's grade would one
I
be in?
I think ninth grade or ninth grade.
I guess so.
I was
It's
in ninth grade.
and it was the summer between. So yeah, I guess so. It was just like before between grade 9 and 10.
Okay.
something like that. So yeah, that
I
would be
was too,
it.
I was too young to see it in theaters for sure. I was like eight and a half,
Mm.
and my dad rented it. And I remember seeing and it just being like all the jokes went over my head. Like most of the jokes definitely I didn't understand any of them, but thought it was the funniest movie ever. And then I took it home to my mom because my parents were divorced. So I took it home to my mom and I was like, "Mom, let's watch
Mhm.
this movie." And before Carmen Electra's scene was over, she was like, "Nope, shut it off. You can't watch this." I was like, "Mom, I have watched this already 30 times at my dad's house." I could recite the words to you at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I have
Mhm.
always loved this movie, and I saw it before Scream. I saw it before I Knew to Last Summer. I saw it before all those movies. So
Yeah, a lot of people have had that experience though of like watching this first. And obviously I had seen Scream and Scream 2 and Scream 3 as well at this point, and both of the I Know What You Did Last Summers. So it was like for me, it was like kind of seeing just like a reenactment of certain things. So like the joy for me would be like, oh my God, she's doing the thing. And she's
yeah,
like, pulling the knife out, and it's just like that's just like in Scream,
yeah,
and like
that's
all
how you're
that
supposed
stuff.
to watch it. That's like the joy of it.
Yeah, so that had always been kind of my entry point into the movie. Um, Watching it today, I mean, this is not a movie that I revisit a whole lot.
Hmm.
And I kind of like, truth be told, it's kind of obnoxious to me because I do see it as like mostly the just like being a parody of like a property that already exists. And like, I get that that's the point of it. I don't think that that's like necessarily my brand of humor anymore, but like the things that I do like about this movie, I found that they actually like lean into more as the sequels go on. So I actually don't think that Scary Movie one is the best of the franchise. I think that it got better as it went along. It's been a while since I've seen them, but I think that they figured out like what works here and what doesn't. Because like for instance, like Cindy in this movie is not really she hasn't like become Cindy yet.
Hmm.
Because the Cindy that I see is like more of like Anna Faris, like really kind of like finding the essence of the character and like really leaning into her being like really dumb. And
Hmm.
obviously she, from three onward, she, just like becomes blonde. And so she's like really leaning into like the stereotype of the dumb blonde. I feel Brenda is like probably from like the get-go is like the one character who was just like spot on. Like she's just like she is my favorite part of this movie. And I think she's my favorite part of like every movie going forward. But just sort of like seeing her character, like she was on a whole other level. And it was like everything else was kind of catching up to her as the sequels went on. So that's why I'm really excited for the new one because I feel like it's just going to be the most pure, unconcentrated version of what Scary Movie is. And like we've had however many years it's been since the last one, which I don't even count because it didn't have
Yeah,
like
fair.
the actors in it.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just like there's so much to cover, so much ground to cover in that time. And I feel that like those characters, even though this is satire, did become more fleshed out as the series went on. So, it's been a while since I've seen two. I might say that two could be my favorite.
So I agree and I disagree with you.
Okay.
One, I agree with Scary Movie 1 is not my favorite. Scary Movie 2 is my favorite. It's the one that more parodies like House on Haunted Hill and
Yeah.
like the haunted house aspect of it. And so that one has always been with the guy with the hand. Just like there's so much in that movie,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I think that that is my favorite. But I feel like because the first two of the Wayans brothers, they felt a certain type of way, and then once the third movie, when it switched directors, it felt a little bit different. I still love the third one a lot. And I think Cindy is probably at her best in that one.
Hmm.
Because then four, I just feel like I didn't laugh as much. Like four, it started becoming a little bit like, especially with is that the one that had Saw in it with Brenda? I started feeling like
Yeah,
that
this is the
wasn't
one with
very,
Dr. Phil
yeah, and
and
like so that
Shaq.
one,
Yeah.
like even Brenda, I feel like that one, like Brenda was kind of tired in that movie. I wasn't really laughing with Brenda in that one. But like Anna will always make me laugh, but like
Yeah.
I just feel like by Scream 4 it was really burning out for me and I was not finding the series as funny anymore.
Mm.
And then I don't even know if I've watched 5 all the way through. Uh
Fell asleep during it.
yeah, exactly. It's one
Yeah.
of those. So I hope that this new one kind of brings it back to like scary movies 1 through 3, like that kind of because I
Hmm.
don't know what it was. I think maybe it was just a little bit different, a little bit spicier. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, we've got Ray and Shorty back with
Mm-hmm.
Sean and Marlon. So we definitely have that. I already like in the trailers they clearly like they're doing Sinners, The
Mm-hmm.
Substance, like all these movies that actually like I feel are very like personally feel are a little overrated. I wasn't like a huge fan of, but I'm very excited to see the Wayans just like shred them to pieces in that regard. Obviously, we've got the Halloween 2018 of it all,
Mm-hmm.
Ma.
Yeah.
So I believe there's some like Get Out in there too, possibly. I'd
Yeah.
have
I
to
saw him
watch
get sucked
the
into the
trailer again.
couch. Yeah, I
The
remember him getting sucked
Scream,
in.
like Scream in 5 and 6, because we got like the subway
Yep.
uh thing there too. So
No,
yeah,
I'm excited
there's
for it.
I am too. Yeah, it's gonna be real great. Sarah saying Scary Movie 3 has my favorite gag, the sheriff's hat getting bigger and bigger every
I
time
love
they
that.
they cut to her kills me.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so funny.
I think my favorite gag in Scary Movie 3 is like all the stuff with Brenda where she's sort of like faking getting killed.
That whole
And
scene.
then like the ring girl, like coming out of the TV. It's like, Cindy, your TV's leaking. Um,
She's eating
it's just,
popcorn. She's
yeah.
like,
It's just like, this bitch is messing up my floor. Uh, yeah, I mean, we could just sit here and recite lines from the movies for the entire podcast, and that would be it. Um,
well, back to the first one.
mhm,
Someone in the chat, who was it? I think it was Kyle. Yeah, oops, I farted. I didn't think you'd hear me. I love that quote from Carmen Electra, like the
mhm,
popcorn. Like I love that because I love like a gorgeous girl admitting to farting. That was just
yeah.
so funny. And did you know? Here's a little lore.
Mhm.
That originally that role was supposed to be played by Melissa Joan Hart, but she was fired like right before,
Oh.
and so then they replaced her with Carmen Electra. And
Was that
so
because like sh her chest wasn't, big
yeah,
enough
so
or something?
so
Yeah.
I've heard different things, different sources, and I forgot what Melissa herself said. Melissa said she was fired, and she felt like it was right after she did a Rolling Stone photo shoot, and
Hmm.
so I was like, well, why would she get fired for that? Like, it's like a raunchy movie. Why would they? But then I've also heard that it was because her breasts weren't large enough, and they wanted someone very large breasted as like part of the gag. So I'm like, unless they
Interesting.
saw her nude photos in Rolling Stone and they were like, "Oh damn, never mind, her boobs are not big enough," and
Yeah.
then
Well,
that's why
I
they
mean,
fired
not
her.
not nude, but like
Well, they were like revealing, yeah. For
scantily
Sabrina the
clad.
Teenage
Yeah.
Witch, they were scandal, yeah,
Hmm.
scandalous. So,
Apparently, Melissa Joan Hart was also in contention for the role of Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4.
hmm,
Yeah, which eventually
okay,
went to Danielle Harris.
yes,
But yeah, just some fun fact. Amethyst is saying there was a big controversy about Melissa doing Maxim in 1999,
Maxim, that's
2000.
it.
She wasn't naked, but it was too risque for somebody who was a teen star. I remember like I had like all of the Maxim magazines up until like a
Really,
point until I like stopped getting them. Yeah, there was like there was like a collectability to them. And I think that, for me, especially because I wasn't like, like I was like still in the closet at that time, but I was
I like
like
Maxim.
here's like all like the WB girls and things like that. I was just like, yeah, like I don't remember if like Sarah Michelle Gellar was ever on it, but I remember
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure Eliza Dushku was.
Was Rose McGowan?
Rose McGowan. I remember a
Of
Rose
course.
McGowan thing, and like her interview talked about being in a cult
Mm.
and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So there was, yeah, Shannon Elizabeth had one. So I would just like I collect them. I don't know what happened to them. I guess like probably they just like were thrown out at one point, like in one of my many moves when I was younger.
You don't need
But
these anymore.
don't need these. Yeah. Well, there was like what would the gay equivalent of Maxim be? Like there wasn't one.
True. Just like
Yeah.
men's health men's health magazine.
Yeah, but that's not the same. That's more for like straight guys, like
Yeah.
reading it for
It's
that.
just the only things you'll see like topless men.
But even like or for like women, I mean, I guess they had like Cosmo, but it wasn't the same. And like Cosmo was like, like other women on those magazines. And I feel like now, I mean, because like their print media is just like not really. I mean, are they still making like Maxim magazines? I don't even pay
Oh, I
attention.
have no idea. It's so, I
Yeah.
mean, the only time I see magazines is at the airport. When I'm at the airport, I always have to stop at
Hmm.
the Hudson News or like a bookstore, and I see tons of magazines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, every day there's like a new magazine. And like, I have so many friends that work in fashion, and they'll be like, oh, I'm doing a shoot for Lightbulb Mag. And I'm like, what? Like, like, how many magazines are there now? Like, it's just so funny. Like, who even
Yeah.
reads magazines?
Well, I like if you ever go to like a doctor's or a dentist or whatever, and there's like magazines from like 20 years ago. It's
I
always
love
fun to
that.
look at that and
That I
like,
love.
wow, what's
That
this?
I'll read. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I
Yeah.
remember my mom because my mom had like People magazine in the car every week growing up.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
Yeah, no, I remember like my friend like going to his building because he had like a gym in it, and we would like go down to the gym, and they had magazines because I guess like the building was built in like the mid 2000s, so like the magazines that they had in the gym were from like it was like Men's Health or whatever from like 2006, and there was one with like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and just like looking like, wow, this is like 20 years old at this point, which is just crazy.
Wow.
People were using it to like as like a counterweight or just like sort of like machinery that was sort of like tilted that they would like put under it to just like keep it balanced. Mhm.
Um,
Amethyst is saying Maxim is still in print. News to even me. Thank you, AI Mephiст bot.
I know
Um,
we touched on this other movie once before, but have
yeah.
you I forgot, have you seen Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday the 13th?
I think that I've seen parts of it, and Julie Benz is in it.
Yes.
Speaking of WB girlies, as they would be called, and it's it's sort of I think it came out first,
Well,
from what
no.
you're telling me.
So it was written in like they were being made first, but then once Max Dimension and
Yeah,
um
Miramax.
Miramax
Yeah.
Maxim magazine once Dimension found out about it, they were like, "Oh, let's push our movie along faster." So they like funded the crap out
Yeah,
of it and like got Scary Movie made first before Shriek could come out.
yeah. I think that Scary Movie is the better of the two from what I've seen.
Absolutely.
Like
It
the
is the funnier movie.
it's funnier, but also like I think like production wise, like Shriek feels like really kind of like balls to the wall in terms of
Like
its budget. Yeah.
bare bones
Yeah.
budget. Yeah, it was like
Hmm.
pinching pennies on set, you know.
Sarah Campbell saying, "Ooh, Shriek was a rough watch."
I remember there's a few funny parts in that movie though. Like there's just a
Hmm.
few like I know there's like one part where like the main character girl is like t talking to everyone at lunch, and she's like I think the nerd in the group has a crush on her, so he's staring at her and she looks at him and she just like winks, and he's like, "Oh my God, yes." And then she like looks away and she's like, "Ow, ow." Like she has like something in her eye. Like I don't know, just like
Hmm.
stupid little jokes like that. Or like how in Scream when like the sheriff is talking to Dewey and he like throws down his cigarette and steps on it and Dewey is
Yeah.
holding the ice cream. Well, in Shriek, the cop like throws down the ice cream and like steps on it and like squish as if it's like a cigarette. So
But
certain jokes
wasn't
like
that
that.
was in the Scream outtakes where because like the sheriff like threw his cigarette on the ground and stepped on it, and I don't think that David Arquette stepped on the ice cream, but in one like outtake he does like throw the ice cream on the
Pretends to,
ground.
or maybe he actually
No,
did. I don't
he
know.
no, he actually does. I don't think that
Oh,
he
that's
stepped
funny.
on it, but
Oh,
like it was just yeah, that kind
it's
of
just a
things.
close up of a
Yeah.
cop's boot stepping into ice cream and mushing it under the ground.
Hmm.
So there was a few funny parts in it, but yeah, no, Scary Movie is definitely the funnier of the two.
Yeah. Well, I think it just like it had the bigger budget. I think just with being affiliated or just like produced by Dimension Miramax, they were able to, I mean, I think probably especially for like licensing rights and stuff, because like they could just like full on make fun of certain things without any like consequences or reprimands. I don't know what the fair use of that would be considered, but like if it's the same production company, like there would be like nothing, no like red tape that they would have to
Yeah,
cut through.
so true.
Amethyst was mentioning here, even Scary Movie was pulling the Dawson's Creek theme song joke right out of Urban Legend. I didn't like take that as a reference to Urban Legend. I just like took that as
Me
like a
neither.
like the like because Dawson's Creek, if I remember correctly, Joey, was it Joey who's Katie Holmes?
Yep, Joey.
Yeah, because she would like always like climb into Dawson's window. Like there, he just had a ladder up there, and like
Hmm.
here, like Cindy has like a neon sign on her window just saying "always open."
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was more just because they use that song that they like they're like, hey, this again
I
in pop
wanna
culture,
wait.
they focus mostly
Yeah.
on the scary movie jokes first, and then they threw in pop culture stuff. So I feel like
Yeah.
they're like that'd be a funny song.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
And
Um,
yeah, James Vanderbeek, because he appears in this Borderland We Run a Sing, RIP JVDB.
oh wow.
But yeah, so he appeared in this. He was also in the same year this came, or it might have come out in 2001, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And
Love
he
it.
was playing like I guess like the movie version of Jay. And then Jason
Oh
Biggs from
yeah.
American Pie was the movie version of Silent Bob. And in that, because they like break onto like the studio lot set, and Wes Craven is in the movie, and he's like filming a version of, or it's like Scream 4, I guess, with Shannon
Mm-hmm.
Doherty.
Yep.
Gosh, like RIP all these people.
I know. The
Crazy to think
monkey.
the monkey is the killer, but it's just like there's so much connective tissue between all of these properties because like Wes Craven is here, and then like Wes Craven is like, obviously Scream 3 is his movie, but he's in the scene playing an extra who's like walking by with that tour group when Gail is thrown out of the studio, and then Jay and Silent Bob are right behind her or behind Wes Craven, and they're mistake her for Connie Chung or whatever, and she flips them
Mm-hmm.
off. So it's like everything, like all of these movies just feel like they somehow exist in the same universe.
Yeah, and Shannon Elizabeth is in both Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and in Scary Movie.
She is, and Eliza Dushku.
She's actually a
Uh,
great actress. Like she really is a great actress. She plays like she's always sexy, but she's a different version of sexy in every movie. And I have met her once, and
oh yeah.
I had a really embarrassing experience with her once.
Are you
Um,
going to share that
yeah, I would
experience?
love to.
Okay,
I would love
please
to.
do.
But it was very humiliating. It was like so I was doing a wedding of her cousin's
Mm,
Tamsin's wedding, and so she didn't want her makeup done. She was doing her own makeup, Shannon, but because she came late and she was just like, "Hi," she was so sweet, and I was doing makeup for her cousin, so I'm like, "Oh my God," trying to act cool, trying to be like, just chill, just because like I've seen celebrities before, but if you're a celebrity from like my childhood, like Shannon Elizabeth, I'm like, that's when I'm like, oh my God, I want to freak out. So like, she like wanted lashes put on. She was like, "Can you just put lashes on for me?" And so I had a bottle of glue and I had a bottle of glue remover right next to each other. And so I poured out the glue remover. And so I'm trying to stick lashes on her, and the glue remover obviously is not sticking. And so the lashes are not sticking. They keep falling off. And I'm like sweating. I started profusely because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong here. I don't know why they're not sticking.
mm.
And I started like losing my mind, and then she started getting a little frustrated, and not at me, but just because I kept trying to fix it and kept trying to
Yeah.
like. And so then she's like, "I'll just do it myself," and I was like, "No, no, no!" Like, yeah. So it was just so mortifying. So I'm getting hot right now, actually.
She's not
Great.
mad at you. She's mad at the dirt.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was just, and I just had to suck it up and be like, "Oh, you look beautiful." When it was all done, she came in with her lashes on. I was like, "Oh my God, I look amazing." God, the
Yeah.
stupid glue. I was like, "Can you believe this glue?" Like once I realized what the issue was and I knew it was my own fault, I just blamed the glue. I was like, "God, something's wrong with this damn glue. I don't know what to say."
Yeah.
And she's like, "It's
Well,
fine."
if she's watching or listening to this now, she knows.
Now she knows the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I always enjoy her in 13 Ghosts just for her like scene of just being so kind of like amazed by the opulence of her bathroom or
of the
whatever. And it's just
bathroom.
like water. Wow. Like it just like I could see Jennifer Coolidge, doing that scene. Just being like
Wow.
like I'm gonna splash this on my face. This is like Evian water. It's not even regular tap water. It's like this is the expensive kind of
She's
water.
like, this water gets real cold.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so warm
It
when I
gets
want it to
hot
be.
and cold. Yeah.
Ooh.
Um, so yeah, I mean, she was like everywhere in like the 2000s. And
Yeah.
then yeah, I guess she just sort of like, I'm not sure what if she's still acting or whatever.
I don't know.
Actually, speaking of the heavier girl who's like the Tatum version in the garage,
Mhm.
Marissa Winokur, I believe is her name. So
The day
her and
player.
the day player, she was on Celebrity Big Brother with Shannon Elizabeth. And I believe Shannon was voted out very early. I mean, it's not like real Big Brother. There's like 10 players and it was like 2 weeks long or whatever. But Marissa ended up winning. So like the day player from this movie, like she won
Oh,
Celebrity Big Brother. But they were talking about Scary Movie because they're like, oh, we should like be in an alliance together. Like we were in Scary Movie, and they talked about like meeting on Scary Movie, or they might have met before that. But yeah,
no, that's so
it's
so good. Because
yeah.
yeah, they both kind of had like, I was thinking about that with Shannon Elizabeth's death in this movie. I was like, I
Hmm.
don't think that really parodies anything, but like her dialogue parodies Tatum's. Like, oh, can I
Yeah.
be the helpless victim?
Hmm.
Die, cheerleader, die. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like Tatum's dialogue, but there was no death I could think of from a movie that took place in a locker room like that. But
I'm sure there's something like one of the cheerleader movies
yeah,
or
something like
whatever. One of
that.
the high school like horror movies of the 80s. There
Hmm.
could have been a scene in there. But I mean like they were taking liberties with this. Like not everything had to be that. And I was even like watching like structurally, like if we're comparing it to Scream, like things would happen out of sequence as to like what they would like how they would play out in Scream.
Hmm. Well, that's true.
Yeah, I was
But they
also
did
kind
do.
of hmm?
Oh no, I was gonna say, but they did do like, especially in the beginning, it was like Drew Barrymore's scene, then like Cindy's intro scene, then like the fountain scene. So in the beginning, it was pretty much like beat for beat.
Yeah. Well, the school, the fountain like reminded me of like like the Buffy school, which is it's where was there's like the 90210 school or whatever. But I guess it's not the same school. It's a completely different one. So maybe they
Yeah.
probably like filmed the fountain stuff somewhere else.
Well, oh, so they couldn't use a school. The high school that they were supposed to use pulled out last. Oh wait, no,
That's
that's in
Scream.
Scream. That's Scream.
Yeah.
Yep, never mind. So actually, I have no idea what school they used in this
I
movie.
mean, if that was the same thing, it's just like
That'd be
it happened
hilarious.
again for Scary Movie.
They tried
That
with the
would
same school. Um,
That'd be crazy. I was actually well, because it's been so long since I've seen like this one or any of the sequels. So I was sort of misremembering. I guess this occurs in Scary Movie 2. Because I thought like the scene of Ray and Brenda where he like gets her to put on the football jersey and the helmet and the shoulder
yes,
pads and all
yeah.
that. I thought that was the
Hmm.
same scene where she's like, I want you to fart in my mouth and shit on these walls or whatever. So it didn't happen. And I was just like, is that like a deleted scene or whatever? And I had to look
Hmm.
it up and I'm like, no, that's the sequel.
That's so true. They do have
Yeah.
a similar scene in both movies. Yeah.
Hmm.
Shit all over these walls, Ray.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God,
Hmm.
that's
And I
so
guess
good.
that's supposed to be Brandy. That's Carla in I still know what you did last summer. I'm
Oh
trying
my
to
God, I
like,
didn't even think about that.
was there a scene between, because it would have been Carla and, was it
Look,
Tyrell? Is the
Tyrell,
character's
Mekhi
name?
Phifer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, well, no, she's like a tease to him the whole movie. The whole movie, he wants to sleep with her, and she's like, no.
Well,
Like the
she's
whole
got her
movie,
like
she's like, my hair, I don't
bikini.
want to get
Yeah.
my hair wet. I don't want to get my hair wet.
Yeah.
And like, no, Julie.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I guess
Hmm.
that probably is a parody of that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. They also completely like call out Jennifer Love Hewitt. They call her Jennifer Love Huge Tits in here
Jennifer
when
Love
they're
huge hits. Well, I love the integration of I Know You Did Last Summer into this because yeah, Cindy becomes Julie kind of
yeah.
from I Know You Did Last Summer, and I just love how it's like, hey, isn't it crazy? It's been exactly 1 year since we, killed that guy. Like it's
Hmm.
just out of the blue, and like, hey, Cindy, shut up. We said we'd never talk about that again. It's like, oh my God, but did we, Greg? And
Hmm.
then flashback. It's just so good. Like just such and I love Anna Faris in that one because I know you said that she wasn't the full Cindy yet, but like she was so authentically like that was her first movie. And I guess
Yeah.
she had no idea what was going on. Like she was like trying to play it as like genuine as possible. And like it's just
Yeah.
it's like overacting. It's just so funny. And like her whispery voice. Is it Greg? And I just love it so
And
much.
yeah, and then him just beating the shit out of her is like kind of a parody
Yes.
of like Barry just sort of like
Yes.
choking her. It's just like
And Ray doing
swear,
nothing.
swear
Come
to
on, man,
me.
let go. Come on, you're hurting her, man. Come on, let go over, man. Like, stop,
Yeah,
stop. Barely even like telling you to whatever, but so good.
yeah. John Abrahams, I think is that his name?
Yeah, Bobby.
Plays Bobby Prince, or is it Bobby
Hmm.
Prince Jr.? So I guess like he's sort of like the Billy Loomis and kind of I guess he's a little bit of Ray
Yeah,
as well.
he is
Yeah,
because like the gay side of him is the Ray side, I think. Well,
the
a little
Ray
bit of
side.
Billy
Yeah.
too, but just how he won't defend Cindy when like when she's being choked out by Greg. He's like,
Oh,
come
he's
on, like
just
let go
yeah.
over, let go over. That's
Like
exactly like
come
I
on,
know you did
dude.
last
Yeah,
summer. And now I can't
yeah,
watch that scene in I know you did last summer without being like, Ray, what the hell are you doing? Like,
yeah. Like come on, man, come on.
yeah.
Without spoiling the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, it's just very interesting that like the trajectory of both like Billy and Ray, Billy Ray,
Oh, very true.
for their what they eventually turned out to be. But
Stupid.
it's interesting because I was and this was completely unintentional because I had the choice to like last night I was like got home and I was like up late or whatever. I you know prepared this like wonderful like pasta dinner to have, and I'm
Mm.
like I'm gonna watch a movie, and I guess I could watch scary movie or I can watch something else. And I had chosen House of Wax because it just seemed like if I was gonna watch Scary Movie, it would have felt like homework for some reason. So I watched Scary Movie today. But I was watching House of Wax, and it didn't even occur to me until today when I was watching Scary Movie. It was just like, why did I like the inclination that I was like choosing between two movies with John Abrahams because he plays the character of Dalton
Very
in that as
true.
well.
Yes, I
Fan
remember when House
favorite
of Wax
Dalton,
came
yeah.
out, and I'm being like, "Oh my God, the guy from Scary Movie," because I think those are the
Hmm.
only movies I'd ever seen him in.
Yeah, and he's coming up like he's gonna be in the new one as
Hmm.
well as Lachlan Monroe. He's back in it again. I don't think that Shannon Elizabeth is gonna be in six. Like
She's not.
yeah, she said they didn't ask her back. Um,
Well, I'm just wondering how they're gonna do this, like how they're bringing everyone back. Like, I mean, I know it's like they always bring Brenda back, and
yeah,
but they're bringing back like
from the dead.
everybody, like
Yeah,
even like yeah, from the dead and like Doofy, who like we know isn't really Doofy. Like he's actually this like suave like manipulator that's like with Dale.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see where they go with it. Like I hope that they don't like retcon that. I hope that they like build off of it. Build off of what they
Hmm.
already have.
It looks like they're gonna be doing the the Courtney David Scream 5 bit where just like I guess these characters were married and then they were separated, but like she's doing the thing and like again where she's sucking on his finger
Hmm.
in whatever trailer scene we have. But yeah, he's just like that guy's a chameleon because he just sort of like it's one of those like physical performances, like almost like Jim Carrey, where he can contort his face
Yes.
to look like a
Yes.
completely different person. And then he's like he actually was like looking more like a Christian Bale type when he was like, the dropped the limp and then like took the mustache off
His
and
hair's all
jumped into the
slicked
car.
back.
It's
He was so
very like
handsome.
it's
Oh, oh
very
my God.
American Psycho.
Hmm.
Oh, American Psycho. I guess American Psycho came out in before this. Um, Perhaps. I don't remember. It wouldn't have it would have been too soon to like influence anything in this movie. But yeah, and I don't know, like I've not seen anything else that he's been in, so I don't really is it Dave Sheridan, I believe is the actor's name?
Hmm.
Yeah, are you familiar?
No, I was looking at his other movies today and I've never seen any of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've never noticed him in anything else. But
Yeah.
I'm glad he'll be in the new one. It's just crazy seeing their ages now because like they're all like in their 50s and stuff. It's just so different. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're their age in like when they were doing the first movies. So it's just very crazy.
Yeah. Well, they were like what, 30? Because they even make the joke they're like they're going to be played by someone in their like late
Oh
20s or
yeah, late 20s,
30s.
early
Yeah.
30s. Yeah.
So
So I guess I'm not.
I'm 40 now. So
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
just
And I was
like,
like, I'm
yeah.
like, I'm basically 35, so I'm like, I'm not even in that age bracket anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but
Time is, going fast. Dave Sheridan was in The Devil's Rejects. Never seen it, but he
wait, he
played
was?
Officer Ray. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I prefer that movie over House of a Thousand Corpses, but it's one of those like, I don't know, very brutal, almost like too brutal for me. So I can't watch
Yeah.
it very often.
Can I just be very honest with you and I guess everyone? I might have mentioned this
It is a
before.
safe space, so
It's a safe space here,
it's a safe
where we can
space.
openly make fun of anything and everything. But
Yeah.
um, because we covered A House of a Thousand Corpses before your time. And I
Mhm.
think it was my least favorite, like not only my least favorite movie to have watched for the podcast, but also just like my least favorite episode to record because it's like I don't even know what to say. And you could probably tell by
Yeah.
going back and listening to that one, but I
It
just
makes you feel dirty. When that movie, I remember I was watching it in my dad's room when I was little, and he came in, he got so mad because I forgot what scene it was, and I was hiding under the covers. I was like watching it. I was like, he was like, Tim, there's a difference between horror movies and this sick shit. He was like, this is some sick shit. You don't watch this
Mhm.
shit. And I was like, it's so funny, but it stuck with me. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's so true. I don't like sick shit. I like horror
sick
movies.
shit.
This is some sick shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
it wasn't fun to me.
yeah,
There it didn't have like House of Wax is fun,
yeah.
and American Psycho is fun. There's like fun to it, and like something like that. It's just like it feels provocative on a very forced level to me, and obviously Rob Zombie has his fans. I just know that I'm not one of them. But I mean, good for Dave Sheridan for getting a role in that movie. He's also
Yeah.
in Ghost World, which I haven't seen that since it came out in the theater. It's the one with Thora Birch and Scarlett Johansson. Thora Birch from the American
Hocus.
Beauty.
Oh, Hocus
And
Pocus?
Hocus Pocus, maybe
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus might have been the more like that's the one where all the gays know her from.
Hocus
Uh,
Pocus, of course.
yeah.
Um,
No, also Bubble Boy, which I think is the one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
yes.
Yes, like before he, became more serious, I guess. Oh, Marley Shelton was in that one too. Um, so again, all these like in this time of just like the 2000s, it just like everyone was everywhere.
It's so
Uh,
true. And
yeah.
everyone in this movie was someone like I don't know if I remember when Mad TV was a huge thing. So I think that what Sherry O'Terry was on, or was she on Saturday Night Live?
She was on Saturday Night Live because she did the
Okay,
thing like she did a lot of like skits with Will Ferrell and stuff like they
that's
were
right.
the cheerleaders
I don't know.
in a
I was
lot of
always more of a
them.
Mad TV person.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like Mad TV
I
was funny, whereas like SNL just felt like, oh, okay, like
yeah.
let's get through this. But there was one, I believe, you could look it up where Nev Campbell was the guest on SNL, and she did a skit where I think she was playing Sydney, and it was with Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry, and they were doing like a cheer
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
then I would have to watch that.
Hmm. And I think Nev might have been on Mad TV as well. But Mad TV was always the go-to. They just it felt more irreverent. It felt less political as well. They just sort of went for everything. I still see like things will come up with. There's one I was seeing the other day with Deborah Wilson and Michael McDonald, who just just to tie this to horror movies, he's the guy from Halloween Kills, who was like the one of the two gay Johns. He was the one that was
Oh yeah.
like no,
Yes.
but
The tall one, right?
yeah, he
Yes.
played Jesus, and Deborah Wilson is like she's at her husband's funeral, and she's like, "Jesus, take me, Jesus!" And then he shows
Oh
up, and he's
yeah.
like, "Okay," because it was like an Easter themed thing. He like posted it on his Instagram, and it was just like he's like, "Arise, my son," and she's like, "No, no, 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 I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Like I'm not going in his place."
He was
Um,
like, "You said to take you, so I'm here to take you." And she's like,
yeah.
"No."
And
Yeah.
I mean, she did the best Oprah, and like her Oprah and her Whitney Houston
Oh my God, that
were
was
the best.
well, are you talking about her Oprah in Scary Movie 4 when she like
Did
when
she,
they
is
make fun of
she did she play Oprah in Scary Movie 4?
yeah, so it just
I
like I think it's just in the credits. Like it's just in the I think it's just the final credits when like the Tom Cruise impression jumping on the couch and like he breaks her wrist backwards and because they're holding hands and
I
like he just like
forgot
keeps
about
pushing and she's
that.
like ah and she starts screaming and he breaks her wrist backwards and then he jumps all over the couch.
That's amazing. If like because to me that sort of like combines now Scary Movie with the Mad TV
Yeah.
universe. Because that's the thing. It's just like if you've seen Deborah Wilson's Oprah Winfrey impersonation, like no one else can do it better than her. Yeah, she's there. Like, but those were her two go-tos, like the Oprah and Whitney Houston. Like she could do Oprah and Whitney Houston better than Oprah and Whitney Houston could do themselves.
Oh, for sure. No,
Hmm.
and all those actors. But yeah, so Sherry O'Terry was I think forgot what I was gonna say about her, but she's hilarious in
Hmm.
this. All her scenes. Oh, and the girl Heather. I haven't seen her in anything else ever, but I love Heather in this movie. I think she's so
Hmm.
funny. Like, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Heather," and then she's like,
Hmm.
"Okay, stand up," and it's like everything that she says in the classroom, and I just love that. Don't forget Elections Tuesday, and don't forget Elections Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I don't know who that girl is, but I love Heather, whoever
I
she
thought
is.
that she was like Heather was like named for like Heather Donahue from like Blair Witch. Even though like
No.
she was like she's part of that Blair Witch parody, but she like that was more Sherry O'Terry that was like playing the
Yeah.
role as that
Hmm.
character. But she was kind of reminding me of do you remember Teaching Mrs. Tingle?
Barely. I remember like them tying her up in the bed, but yeah.
Yeah, there's like one of those like go-getter students in their class who was like it just seemed like she was maybe yeah,
I just love it.
based
She's
on
like, oh,
her.
okay, Heather.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anybody?
the teacher is hilarious too. Like it's times like these where we need prayer in school and she's like breastfeeding her son,
You
like,
go to
here,
your
join your daddy.
daddy.
Yeah.
You go to your daddy. I'll see you after class.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
There's
her
just
so much. It's just so inappropriate. I love it.
yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, shut the fuck up. Um,
And
I
one
saw
thing
something.
oh, I was gonna say about we forgot to mention this in the fountain scene. I love that Buffy, if you notice Buffy, she's always doing something different. Like she's like trying to open a like candy package for like half the scene. She's like they're just sitting there just trying to like bite it open. She's like if you just look at her, she's just trying to open this candy wrapper for so long, never opens it. And then
Yeah.
it cuts back to her and she's like holding a curling iron and she's curling her hair and it's not plugged into anything and she's just curling her hair. It's just so funny. And then like later on when
Yeah.
they're in her bedroom, she's eating a box of pizza and then it cuts back to her and she's eating a box of donuts. Like, and it's just something that I never noticed on the first watch, but
Hmm.
watching it again, I'm like, God, she's so funny.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh yeah, this is what I saw. The movie Cobweb from
Mm-hmm.
2023, which was like not a, I don't think it was like seen by a lot of people. I really liked it. It had the dude from The Boys, the guy who plays, oh my gosh, I haven't seen it enough to remember. But like the main villain guy. But anyway, I'm just like saw Deborah Wilson's filmography. Apparently she was the voice of the monster in that
Really?
movie. Yeah. So
Ah, look at that.
yeah, Homelander. That
Oh,
that dude
yes,
was in
that
it.
guy.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, check it out. The third act was, kind of it didn't feel like it properly kind of tied up what the rest of the movie is. It kind of feels like a completely separate movie, but the first two-thirds of that movie
Wait,
are pretty
which
cool.
movie? Cowboy or Scary Movie?
Cobweb.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I saw Cobweb.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, we're all over the place here.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Mhm.
I thought it was okay. It was okay. It was just like it's one of those movies that you kind of think it's going one direction and then it doesn't. It just kind of goes in the way
Pivots, yeah.
it yeah, the way like it is expected, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the ghost face mask of Scary Movie?
I mean, it's ugly. It's like it's the wider mouth. It's not nearly as ugly as the one in Shriek, if you noted those Friday the 13th. That movie
Hmm.
is clever though, because it starts off where like the killer is like it's a regular hockey mask, and then he runs into a electric fly thing, killer,
Yeah.
and then that melts his mask, and he looks like then it's like the scream face.
It's all
Um,
melty and
but in
drippy,
this
yeah.
movie, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's fun that the mask changes, and it's like that kind of like fake, the
It's got the
mask is
tongue
smiling, and
out.
yeah, the tongue out, and he's like
What's
pretend he like
that?
even there's like hold I think he's holding a soda with a straw and like goes to like pretend it, and of course the camera cuts away before a sip would be taken, but like it's like going towards the mouth as if it's going in there. So stuff like that,
Hmm.
I enjoyed. Yeah. What
Yeah.
about you? Do you like the mask?
No, I do for sure. I just like I love that
Yeah.
it's just like a different variation. I think that like NECA or like one of the toy companies like has put out a figure with like it might have been a ghost face with an interchangeable Scary Movie head on it as well,
Hmm.
which I think is fun.
Yep. So
Hmm.
and then what did you think so the scene where they're kind of making fun of like Sydney when she gets her chase scene and she runs upstairs and then she like types for the police like white woman in trouble.
And then
That's what the
immediately,
police show up
yeah.
like right away. Well, when she's running up the stairs, I was like, is that supposed to be a little bit of CC Cooper throwing like the
Oh,
pots and like the plants and stuff like that? And she's like, Grandma,
maybe.
because then she also throws a bike, and that's what CC threw. Like she
Right.
threw a
Oh,
plant, she threw
absolutely.
a
Yeah. No,
bike, and
I would think
so
so.
I was
Well,
like, I think
be
this is make fun of CC a little.
Yeah, because I mean, like that house doesn't. I mean, not that like any of the locations really resemble too many of them from Scream, but that was giving me more Omega Beta Zeta than
Mhm.
like Sydney's house proper in the original Scream, or in even like
Well,
the
it's
set
funny
in
like
Scream
how high
3.
the staircase is, just this huge staircase, this never-ending staircase.
Yeah, I was
Grandma.
wondering if that was like a set or an actual house because it did feel like what are these stairs
Oh, it
here
was
right
ridiculous.
now?
No, there it must have been a
Yeah.
set because it was like ridiculous. Like it had that one landing where the grandma's like, "Oh, hi, baby," and then
Yeah.
grandma throws her down.
Yeah.
And then who keeps the piano at the top of the stairs? That's actually hilarious. But
Yeah, and then she had like or no, this was at the beginning where there was like the assortment of weapons on
oh, that's the
the
beginning. Yeah,
stand, and then
Carmen
like
Electra.
yeah, she took the banana.
But like
Uh,
this one's funny because it makes fun of the scream scene where like Billy comes through the window and like then like his phone falls. So she's like, "Oh my God," like thinks that he must be the killer. But in this
yeah,
movie, not only the phone falls, but also then like a knife and gloves fall out too.
yeah.
And I remember not getting the joke when I was little, but it just like so many things like that. Like I didn't get what the
Hmm.
joke was.
It was
Now,
more, it was almost
got
like
it.
Angelina in Scream 3, where it's just like she drops the mask and the voice changer, and she's got the black boots,
Yeah,
and it's
it's like,
like,
but it's not me though.
yeah, how could you not be? When I was watching it, I don't know if you did this, but like trying to figure out like who killed who, if that's
No,
even
that's
possible.
definitely your thing.
I guess so. But people
The
ask me about it all the like not Scary Movie specifically, although some people have asked me to like cover Scary Movie. And I guess like because Bobby says that like the only I guess like it would have just been Cindy, and then he's like and then
yeah,
like
they're just you.
Shorty just because he happened to be there, and then I guess the dad as well. So
Because they're
everything else,
copycatting a killer that already exists.
yeah, so everything else would have been Doofy.
Yeah, which and
Yeah.
so because of that, I think this has happened for a lot of people that saw a Scary Movie first. They all assumed that Dewey would be the killer in Scream because
Hmm.
of Scary Movie. So I mean that movie,
Oh,
so like that movie definitely did spoil. Like I knew that like Billy was the killer, and the first time I watched Scream just from Scary Movie,
right,
not so much Stu, obviously,
right.
but but Billy I definitely knew was the killer.
Hmm.
But then I also thought Dewey would be a killer too. He wasn't.
Okay,
That
interesting.
was a nice
I mean,
surprise.
I think that the speculation of Dewey being the killer was around before Scary Movie ever came out, because that was something that they were still toying with in Scream 2 when they made
Mm.
that. And like that's why like Wes still like tried to make him seem suspicious in certain scenes. But yeah, I get like it just it had occurred to me like, well, who killed who here? And yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. There's not like a lot to draw away from that. And I guess it was all like based on this uh homosexual relationship that was going on between Ray and Bobby. Whereas just like Ray's like, I'm
Mm.
not gay. Like he's
They
just
play good
completely
music.
in denial. Yeah. Mhm.
Um, yeah, no, then they jump into the whole Matrix bit, but yeah.
That there was Matrix parodies left, right, and center at the
Oh, it was
time.
huge.
Because I
Yeah, it
think
was
even
huge.
like because they like Scary Movie 2 parodies Charlie's Angels. And didn't Charlie's Angels parody the Matrix as well? Like I feel like there had
I
to
feel
have
like at that
been.
time everything was doing like the slow motion. Yeah, like the slow motion
Hmm.
backwards kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was huge at the time. And just
Hmm.
lots of slow motion, early 2000s with like
Yeah.
fight scenes in general.
Amethyst is saying that Buffy's pageant could have used a 40-year-old woman singing Fame off key.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes.
And just for Buffy to be like, Jesus
I,
Christ.
I love even in like well in that scene in Scary Movie like the the one with Buffy it's so funny just because even like the guy singing the song like the one that's in I know you did last summer like that
Yeah.
guy sings like a gorgeous mixture of all that lies and those big blue eyes like they
Hmm.
have a funny version of that playing and like that's so funny I can't remember the words right now but like
Hmm.
with gorgeous tits like stuff like that and then she does her whole dramatic reading, and I love that so much because everyone in the audience is just like, "That's fantastic! This is
Yeah, she's
great!
so
Like,
good.
God,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is amazing!" And
I
when
mean,
she,
it's less egregious, honestly, than in the actual movie where she's trying to
right,
run and they're all holding her back. Like, what are you doing?
like
Let go of
physically
her.
holding her, like, "Oh, no, we have to stop this girl," as if she has like a history of like mental health issues, and
Yeah, like she's going to
um,
hurt someone or herself. It's
exactly.
just
Let's
like,
stop her like for this
yeah,
stupid pageant that we're having. Anyways,
yes, the
um.
pageantry of it
But
all.
I love it. It's like, well, what about Greg? It's like, well, fuck Greg, I won. Push get out of my way, you loser.
Yeah.
Um, and as
Mhm.
a makeup artist, one thing I notice is that when she's on stage, she has a really dark lipstick on, but when they do her close up, the dark lipstick is gone. I
Oh,
think
wow.
it's yeah, I think I just noticed that. I think it's because like sometimes that happens a lot in movies if you notice. Like they'll soften the lip color. If it's a really dark lip, when they do a close up, they'll soften it because it's too intense for a close up.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so little makeup fun back there.
Interesting. So you probably have noticed this in a lot of movies.
Yeah. A lot of movies like
Mhm.
the makeup from further away will be stronger and then like up close it'll be a little bit like a softer of a color. Sometimes like the
Yeah.
if the eye makeup's really dark, it'll be a little bit softer.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the evolution of, how they used to do it way back in the old days of movies where like it's just like the Vaseline lens or whatever, where everything was like very softly lit when it was like the
Yes.
close-up of the lady.
Scream
Um,
4.
as you
But
Scream
yes.
4, yeah. Scream 4 just channeling the energy. Well, I mean that was just muddy looking and weird. But
Did they film
speaking
Scream
of
4 with a filter or did they do that in post?
that was all post. Because
That was
there's like
post,
the
okay.
trailers for Scream 4 show like what it would have looked like regularly. So I don't know
Mm,
what had
okay.
occurred. I would be interested. I need to listen to the commentary for Scream 4 again. I usually like just listen to the ones for the first three because I don't remember much like interesting stuff being said on the one for four because it's Wes and Emma and Hayden. And I find that like when like a director will record a commentary with cast, it's just usually because it's like they're almost like on two different like they're in two different worlds of just like a production. Because the cast can really like only speak to like their experience of like acting in it, whereas like the director is just like the behind the scenes, has like kind of like a full grasp on everything. And Wes did the commentaries like for the first one he did it with Kevin, the second and third one he did it with Patrick Lussier, the editor, and then Marianne Maddalena, the producer. And those two and three were always the most interesting to me because like they just like the three of them just like covered such a broad scope of the production. But it almost felt like from my recollection of the one for Scream 4 that Wes didn't like he was just like yeah and then here's this like it was almost like he not to say that he had to like dumb anything down but it was just like okay I'm talking to like you know Hayden and Emma and like they're probably looking at the movie more so from like a superficial level of just sort of like
Hmm.
what is happening here so he didn't get to like talk about too many stories or wasn't like prompted by people asking the questions that probably would have been more interesting to hear about.
Very interesting. I know you
Yeah.
always make me want to go back and watch the commentaries, and I always
Yeah.
forget. But I mean,
I could be wrong though. I could be misremembering. That's why I want to listen to the one for four again. And it's getting its 4K release.
I saw
Yeah.
finally. I'm excited. Do you think they're gonna add anything new on there, or probably?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like
It
everything
doesn't
that's
seem like
out has
it.
been like put out there. I feel like so.
I'm very disappointed that the Scream 7 physical media does not have a audio commentary on it because this is the first time that a Scream movie has not had one.
That's so funny. So you think just Kevin Williamson didn't want to do one?
Maybe like Kevin is like
He was like, I'm
the
actually not really
post
proud of it. So.
the post Scream 7 like his interviews and stuff it just like there's some like interesting things that are being said by like everyone in just terms of like how they like talk about things it's just like the ownership that they take of this but not so much that so I don't know like maybe the studio asked like oh are you like do you want to do a commentary and it's just like no who knows
No, I don't
yeah
really want to watch it again.
I mean, and they could have asked Nev, or like we could have had like a cast commentary. I like cast commentaries when it's just like the cast, like I like having multiple commentaries where it's just like let's have one from like the
Mm.
director, like the writer, producers, editors, all that, and they can be like
Yep.
grouped together. But then like the cast ones, I'd rather they be separate because then it feels more like it's just more involved. We're being consistent with what's
Yeah.
being said.
And it's like it's different perspective. It's nice to hear like what the director was kind of like stressing about or had anxieties about that day of filming. Like, oh, I remember when we did this, we this happened and then this happened. Whereas like the actor's point of view might be more like what they were feeling or like, what it was like for them. So it's just kind of a
Yeah.
different vibe.
Yeah. Amethyst is saying, I can't believe the Scream 4 4K Steelbook uses art where fans photoshopped Emma's head onto Hayden's body. It looks so amateur. Actually, the Steelbook is
Did they?
not that art. Yeah, the Steelbook art is actually like the original, like it's got the profile knife ghost face thing, but then there's
Mm-hmm.
just a giant number four
Mm.
on it.
Okay.
The regular Blu-ray 4K release has this. It's almost like they're trying to do the the posters for the new Scream movies where it's like everyone's faces on it and
That's
like
what
it's
I saw.
all like
Yeah.
out of proportion and like different things. And then the thing that I do like about that one is that you have like the ghost face head in the back and there's like a camera inside of its mouth and then like the red light on like the thing on the side. That's all good, but like all the faces ruin it. And yeah, Emma's head is on Hayden's body, and it just like you could have made this so much better by just not doing this. Like I hate all this new shit. Everything's ruined in these days. It just doesn't look good.
I know.
Yeah.
It's they're trying to incorporate, yeah, like the modern covers, like you're saying. I noticed that as soon as I saw it, because isn't like Gale's in the middle, I think, of this new Scream 4.
Of four, I don't even
I just remember
remember.
whatever the
Yeah.
placement is, I felt like it was just a weird placement.
Yeah. And they
But
didn't even
yeah.
have like all the characters either. It's like if you're gonna commit to that, like where's Judy? I don't think Judy was on there.
Hmm.
So yeah, not a fan.
But I did love, I'm trying to think of anything else scary movie related.
Yeah. Did
There's
you say
just so many
filleted?
filleted,
Because
yeah.
that's like made me think of Buffy's because she was Miss Fellatio.
No, that's so
That was her
funny.
ribbon. Yeah. Maybe that's a
Um,
reference to Black Christmas.
what do you mean? Miss
Uh,
Felicia?
no, because in Black Christmas, when Barb is like giving the prefix or whatever to the the sergeant at the police station, and she's like, "Yeah, it's fellatio," and he didn't know
Oh,
what fellatio was. So then, like when John Saxon like saw it, he's just like, "Fellatio, like get in here." It's like, why did you take this down? It was like a little like inside joke. Is the exchange goes, yes, thank you, Amethyst. Um, so yeah, that was like Buffy Gilmore's little sash. It's Miss Fellatio.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Um, and I love the Scary Movie 2 scene. I love, yeah, obviously Brenda's whole scene. I
The
love that they're
Scream
watching
2, yeah.
Scream 2 scene.
Shakespeare,
Shakespeare in
Shakespeare.
Love. My girlfriend's already seen this movie. They don't even stay together in the end.
Yeah.
That
Honestly, I think that that's my favorite scene in the movie. Because like
yes,
as I was
your
saying, like
ass is
all
grass.
yeah. All of the like the Brenda stuff is like really the best, but like I think that that scene
Mm.
just becomes the best because like I think about that every time I go to the movies and just sort of like if I ever hear anyone talking, I think or like when the thing plays at the beginning that's just sort of like, respect the theater, like don't talk during the thing. It's just like, that's for all y'all
For all,
talkers up in
for all you
here.
talkers up in here, let him through. You don't own the theater. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah, Nerdy Boy is saying Brenda in the theater is my favorite scene. It's so funny because in like Scream 2, it's like that theater is rowdy. Like everyone is making noise, and then the second that Maureen is like, "Bitch, hang up the phone and star 16 for this," then everyone's just like, "Shh." Like
Everyone's
what
like,
she
shut
was
up.
she was like rising to the occasion, and what she said was actually funny. So I never
Well,
understood that like why she got singled out like that.
well, I love in Scary Movie that like she's
Yeah.
ruined like apparently a list of other movies too, and they're all like, "This is for Thelma and
Schindler's
Louise,
List.
Schindler's
Yeah.
List." She's just ruined.
Yeah.
They've all known her. I'm like, that's so funny.
Hmm. And just like
Um,
her chicken and hot sauce and taking
yeah.
out the video camera. This is hot.
Recording the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And it's like not even a scary movie, but she's like screaming. She's like, "Oh Lord, I'm gonna have a heart attack."
Yeah.
It's like the most like romantic movie ever.
I know. I know you better get out of my face. Out of my
Out of my
face. Out of
face.
my face. Yeah.
I didn't
No,
even
she
know what
has the
candid
best
camera was back
lines.
then. I was quoting that all the time, and I didn't even know what candid camera
Oh,
was.
wow. I guess that's such a like a 90. I mean, it was before the 90s, but like probably like went into the 90s. You're on candid camera.
But when we
Um,
first, I like love the joke when she's like, it's when we first meet Brenda and she's talking about Buffy. Like she is as fake as press on nails, but then she is just as fake because then she's like, "Hey, baby girl!" Like so excited. I'm like,
yeah,
that's so funny. She's calling Buffy fake and then she's just as fake
it's but
herself.
in a way though, like I feel that she was onto something because like Buffy's kind of a shitty friend. And Brenda, well, like, and especially if we go through the series, like Brenda's like very self-serving. Like she's just like,
Yeah, she will
of
run away
herself.
and let you die.
But she's like, there's still like a part of her. And actually, like Regina Hall like talked about this in a recent interview because they were saying like, what kind of a friend is she? And I forget like what she had said exactly, but she just like it was something to that effect. Um, and I think that at least in this sense, Brenda is at least consistent. Like she's always like shows up. Because there's like that whole thing where like in the scene where Buffy, meets her ultimate demise because she's making fun of Cindy and like pulls out the phone
Which is
and
so weird and out of
yeah,
character. Like that scene makes no sense because she's randomly mean to Cindy out of nowhere in that
yeah.
scene. I'm like, did
Yeah,
we
but
miss a
that's
scene in
no,
between?
I don't. I no, that's what I'm saying. I think that Brenda was onto something. She knew that it's just like that girl is trash because she was
She
she
is
was she was at the Puff Daddy, the P Diddy
yes.
party.
With a
My friend
backup
Sean.
dancer, that is lower than a
You know,
security guard. At least security
hot.
can get you
Yeah.
backstage.
That girl don't love
But
herself.
she don't love herself. She is faker than press on nails.
Yeah.
Hey, baby girl.
No, it's the best.
And then like the makeup testing, like don't use that brand. Don't you know they test on animals? And you see the monkey with like lipstick
The
all over its face.
lipstick, yeah.
Oh
And then the
God.
homeless guy throwing the
I
sandwich.
said
It's
a
like,
dollar, bitch. I think of
bitch.
that every time on the subway and a
Hmm.
homeless guy asks for like $1 and someone's like offers them a water bottle or something, they won't take it. They'll just walk by, and I'm like, that's so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, he said $1, bitch.
Hmm.
Like, it doesn't want your nutritious food and drink.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
that's unfortunate. But I think that, we've probably exhausted. We're basically just quoting now, so I think that this is
yeah.
probably a good time to get to the cherry picker.
It's not like we kill people on purpose.
Alrighty, we need a cherry on top. I know where my heart is, but what do
I
you?
think I have two,
Yeah.
but my heart of hearts is Anna Faris.
Okay. See, I would go with Brenda Meeks.
Oh, Brenda. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, as I've been saying this whole episode.
True, true. I
Yeah,
guess I've just always been more of an Anna fan, but I think
that's fair.
maybe she doesn't develop fully, like you said. So
Yeah.
in this film in particular, we can go with Brenda. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I also went out of order because I forgot, like, do we do the cherry on top first or do we do the
I
thing?
never know.
I don't I neither do I. And I
I
like
never know.
organize
I
all this
could.
shit. Yeah.
I, yeah.
You're just
So
you're just wherever I tell you, you know.
yeah, exactly. That's all I need to be, where you tell
Yeah,
me.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, this is interesting because well, last week we actually did our Fuck, Marry, Kill in the Scream franchise. So we're going back
Exactly.
2 weeks ago to the Demon Knight. Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight, and I nominated Roach. You nominated Wally. I
Hmm.
know it's been 2 weeks, so hopefully we still remember all
Well,
all that.
I do remember. I genuinely
Yeah.
think Roach should be the one killed, but Wally was a good second.
Yeah. And here Amethyst is telling us that cherry on top last. Okay. Yeah. You guys
Ah,
started cherry on top first for a couple weeks and then reverted to the normal format. LOL. I don't know. It's just gonna you know what? It's gonna be whatever it is.
it's gonna be whatever we think of on the spot in that
On the
moment.
spot, yeah. So Roach and Wally across Patreon, Instagram, and YouTube. I don't know if a lot of people know this movie because it was a short turnout, but 164 for Roach versus 51 for Wally.
Yeah, I mean, he had potential to kill, but we
It
didn't see
just
him being such a bad
it
person. He was more
didn't,
of a
yeah.
sad guy.
We didn't get to that point with him, but let's see what the comments have to say. So, Nicholas Wetzel definitely don't agree with Wally's plans, but the only reason Roach didn't doom humanity is because of Breaker's arrow accuracy. His abuse towards Cordelia is also a key reason for her becoming a demon, her killing Wally, and Irene losing her arm, not to mention everyone who got possessed and died after he broke the mind's seal. Brother said he did that because of minimum wage. Nah, Roach is a roach. Strifen 19, Wally was a bit off his rocker, but at least he didn't try to sell out all of humanity to save his sorry ass. Roach needs to be squashed. Mark Ferens, to be fair, Wally was gonna take out the post office. Stephanie Eileen, the way Roach goes out is fitting as he is a double crosser. Die Roach. Wally, just a little crazy. Grant Dempsey. I'm gonna say Wally, considering what he planned to do. Roach tried to sell out humanity to save his own skin, but that I think that was just stupidity more than it was actual support for the apocalypse.
Yeah,
Horribly
Grant.
selfish either way, but Wally's intention just feels worse. Silent Saturn. Wally is just what happens to people after a lifetime of being bullied by people like Roach. So Roach gets the axe. Complete waste of a human being and not hot enough to get away with it. I like the actor though. He was really good as Sandman in I guess that was Spider-Man 3. But
He's got his own look. He's got a very specific look,
he's
that's for
got a
sure.
specific look.
Like his name could
He's
be Brock. I feel like he looks like a Brock to me. If
Brock.
anyone's name is Brock, his name is Brock.
Is that short for broccoli?
Well, it is now. No, but
Yeah.
Brock. It's kind of like bra, but
Brock.
Brock. It's
Bro.
me, Brock.
Flu. I
Literally.
just I need to consult with my Reiki spiritualist, Brock.
With Brock.
Yeah.
Come on, Brock.
Okay, so I guess that means that I have the first choice here.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, I was so unprepared for this. I don't know who to thank.
Mm.
Um, I think that maybe this is going to be controversial, but I'm gonna nominate Buffy Gilmore.
You think Buffy deserves to die the most?
She's just kind of an asshole, yeah.
I think the sheriff, Sheriff Burke, because he is a
Yeah.
pedo. He's trying to literally get with all the high school girls. He's showing his like his Speedo pictures off to Cindy. Remember, I love that
Right.
scene when he's like, "Hey Cindy, take a look at these photos," and she's like, "Sorry, Sheriff." And just going through them and like it's just pictures of him in the backyard. So he's a
Yeah.
pervert, and I love his line when he's like, "I'm constipated, bloated, constipated, got a boil on my ass the size of a walnut," you know, the usual.
Hmm.
So
I
yeah,
guess
I
I
think
just
the
find him
sheriff.
too like entertaining.
Oh,
Um,
wildly entertaining.
yeah. But yeah, I'm still gonna stick with Buffy Gilmore because she's as fake as press on
Press
nails.
on
Hey, baby
nails.
girl.
Like, is
Yeah.
he gone?
Yeah.
Do you like what you see? It's
Hmm.
all about the money.
Yeah. Um, all right. Well, they're
Fun.
your noms. You can either vote for Buffy or Sheriff.
Yep.
Sheriff is just the sheriff. I guess Sheriff Burke is the sheriff from Scream. But
Oh, sure.
the poll will be open on Patreon, so you can head over there if you are supporting on Patreon. Even if you're not, you can. It's a free poll that's open to the public. So head over as a free subscriber, and who knows, maybe one day you'll feel like upgrading. But it's nice to be there just so you have that extra vote. You can also go to Instagram at the Cherry Picker Pod and vote there, or you can vote on YouTube and make sure that you're following us. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. If you would prefer to listen to these episodes, the RSS feed link is in the descriptions down below. Tim, where can they find you on socials?
I am on Instagram at Tim McKay Beauty.
And I am on my main YouTube channel, Zach Cherry, Zack space Cherry. Instagram and the letterboxd is retro bitch face, all one word, and then Twitter is Zach Cherry 8. I don't think that we have a movie for next week yet. We haven't talked about it. So we're
We
gonna have to figure
don't.
that out.
We will. And I forgot to say this earlier, but last week was April Fool's and we did a parody this week. So I thought that was kind of fun. We kind
I
of
guess
went
so,
kind of like,
yeah.
we didn't plan that
Yeah.
at all, but when you think of it in retrospect, we could have.
We could have. Well, rest assured, we will figure it out and we will announce that as soon as possible because I know
Yes.
a lot of people like to be ahead of the game before
Yes.
we do that. But yeah, it's been a week. We didn't even
Mhm.
talk about stuff, but yeah, like I've just been trying to get my taxes all organized and sent off to the accountant. So I finally finished that.
Mhm.
But yeah, what have you been up to?
Um, I don't remember. No,
Yeah.
like I don't. But no, just hustling. One of like just always hustling. I'm trying to really join the union. I know I mentioned this last time.
Yeah.
But so I've been printing call sheets. I have been going through years worth of pay stubs and like organizing everything together. And there's just so much more I have to do. But I'm so excited and I feel
Yeah.
really positive about it. So.
That's
That's what
good.
I'm focusing all my energy to is lots of it's like it's so strange because I had to buy a printer. I've never owned my own printer except when I was like a teenager
Mm.
in high school. So now I bought a printer and I'm like printing stuff and
Yeah. I had a
using the
printer
printer.
once. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Once like I bought a stapler
Once.
today. I literally ordered a stapler on Amazon. I feel like I'm like wow, I'm a
I don't
professional.
even have a stapler. Wow.
but now I
So
am
now
a
it's just-
businessman.
Yeah. Wow, a stapler. Yeah, there's
Wow.
so
Kind
much
of
like
runs the
office
date.
equipment that I don't have that I probably should. Yeah. All right. Well, keep up with this is why you should, head over to our socials and, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube so you can, make sure that you find out what we're covering next week when we figure it out. But until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we will be right back.